G'day, fellas, and welcome. Jeez, what is going on with my voice? Welcome to a casted game. We're not going to redo it. We're just going to enjoy it. All right, you guys get to have a little bit of an insight as to when things go terribly wrong. Welcome to a casted game. This is not your ordinary casted game. This is two pros going head-to-head at Red Bull Wallaloo Arenado qualifications. Well, not really. I mean, these guys are facing off against each other, but this isn't part of the qualifications, but they're kind of like, they were prepping for it. So I was like, all right, let's go have a bit of a squizzy, see what these two are up to, what kind of strats they're getting up to, because they're playing on Kawasan, EGC TV's Kawasan, of course. We got the Japanese, the Chinese. Let's get into it. Let's introduce our players for today. In the west of the map, in the color purple, playing as the Japanese, it's Kiljadi. And on the east of the map, in the color teal, playing as the Chinese, representing Team Elephant, it's Louis MT. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are here once again on Kawasan. It looks like we've got ourselves a bit of an interesting spawn here. So sometimes you get these spawns on Kawasan where they're not actually opposite each other. I mean, they technically are, but here you've got, like, you know, the eastern corner, and you've got Louis MT playing out of it, and then you've got the western corner and Kiljadi's playing out of it. So you've got natural expansions for Kiljadi and Louis MT, and I definitely prefer this because there's a lot less, well, how do I say it? There's a lot less aggression that comes out, a lot less fighting that you see, and you kind of see a little bit more of a build-up rather than the scrappy games, because I think the last one that we casted on this map, it had, like, the player in the north, they were on this side, and obviously they both go for this northern pond, and that makes it a little bit more difficult. But anyway, that's it. That's your welcome. Hope you guys are doing well. If you haven't already, go grab yourself something to drink. I've got myself a little bit of Red Bull, seeing as we're doing the Red Bull Wallaloo. It's the qualification stages. So if you haven't, go grab yourself something to drink. Put your legs up. I might put my legs up as well. You actually hear when they go up. They got like there's a little bit of a bass to it. I don't hear it in my microphone. I don't know. I'm hoping you guys heard that. Anyway, and of course, leave a like on the video if you're enjoying this content. But let's get into it. A bit of a fun matchup here, the Japanese, the Chinese. So early game, our big focus is going to be on the water. The Japanese, of course, have a very cheap fishing boat, whereas the Chinese have a faster training dock. So you've got 27 seconds here compared to 30 seconds on those fishing boats. So fishing boats have been nerfed recently. They went from 25 seconds to be created up to 30 seconds. So a very slight nerf. It might not seem like a lot, but you've got to remember that's 5 seconds off every fishing boat, which, you know, by your third fishing boat, you're up to 15 seconds that you're now delayed from gathering up that food. It just delays the early game a little bit, and I think this is a smart move without nerfing gather rate. So well done to the devs for identifying that, because it can be a little bit tough to work out exactly how you got to neuter it. And I think it's the right call as well, because I talk about it quite a bit, and anyone who knows me from Age of Empires 3 and sort of followed me over to Age of Empires 4 will know that I loved water in Age of Empires 3. I don't know what it was about Age of Empires 3 and water. There was something about every time it was a water map, I was excited. Maybe that was just because I always played civs that kind of like did well on water. Whereas like here in Age of Empires 4, it's like I kind of cringe when there's water. I'm like, do we really have to do this? And I don't like that. And I feel like one of the differences that has happened here with Age of Empires 4 and Age of Empires 3 is that if you don't play water, like water just pays off so quickly. Like, in Age of Empires 3, if you're playing water, like, it takes a really long time to pay off, and you are very susceptible to early aggression, whereas here in Age of Empires 4, like, your town center's a bit of a beast, and, well, yeah, anyway. We'll leave it there. Coca Township going to be coming up for Kiljadi down on the south side of the map. We see quite a few vills here, 5 vills whacking away at it. Pretty decent age up time. Now, that's largely because he's only gone for the 3 fishing boats, and then he's clicked the age up, and now he's going to start adding in more fishing boats because that landmark has been placed. On the other side of the map, we do see the Imperial Academy going to be coming up here for Louis MT. He's got almost as many vills. He's going to pull a couple off right here. Keep in mind that the Chinese do build their landmarks faster, so it's going to mean that it's going to be pretty close here. Even though you've got 5 that started a lot earlier than the 4 on the Imperial Academy, they should wind up about the same age up time here. So I don't think there's going to be too much of a difference here between these two. Normally, you'd expect to see the Coca Township up quite early. Like, we've seen cases where players have put, like, 10 vills on the landmark, but we don't see that here for Kiljadi, so not looking to rush it up. And one of the things to note is that the Japanese have been buffed in quite a few ways here recently. So the big focus, at least for the Japanese in the early game, in hybrid maps is going to be the Shinobi. So the Shinobi itself is buffed up a number of different ways. And they're very small buffs, but they do make a big difference. So the biggest one is going to be that animation that it's got for its sabotage. So whenever you try and do a sabotage, it's got like a 1.2 second animation. Anyway, I think the devs absolutely gutted that animation timing. Or I should probably say they buffed the animation timing. No longer 1.2 seconds. I think it's like 0.6 seconds now. And often you would find that like players would go to sabotage a dock, and as like they would be mid-sabotage about to hit it, the Shinobi would die. And it just felt terrible. You didn't get a lot out of it. Now, I did see something on Reddit. It was a meme that someone posted, and they were like, oh, what you can do is you can shun Shin in underneath the town center now, and you can hit the sabotage, and you can basically delay, like, there's no vills that can be built for 30 seconds. And I was like, that's actually pretty cool when you think about it, right? Like, you're delaying the enemy from building any vills for 30 seconds. Of course, you're sacrificing like 120 resources, but when you think about it, right? Like, a vill's going to pay itself off pretty quickly. But we can see now, Shinobi comes through, immediately throws the sabotage out, gets in pretty quickly here. Dock on the other side of the map. At this stage, you've got Killjadi here with a pretty decent foothold. But Louis MT's definitely got a nice little bit of a lead on this. We can see that he did have on the south side here of the dock, he's got the explosive junk in queue, so could be looking to try and funnel it in over towards that side. Another thing to note is that the sabotage has got quite a long cooldown on it. You can see at the moment it's got another 30 seconds left, and it's only halfway. So that's going to mean that I think realistically you'd need 2 for each one to rotate them if you wanted to get a complete lockdown here. Did he get the sabotage off? I don't think he did, right? There was a sabotage on that he could have thrown out. Did get the Vill in the end, which is pretty nice. Like, it's a decent trader Vill for a Shinobi. But we'll check in now with how Louis is doing. At this stage of the game, there is no sign of any form of Song Dynasty. No sign of a second town center, at least at this stage. Obviously got plenty of resources out here and just wants to guarantee that he's got control of this pond. But speaking of pond control, on the north side of the map, Killjadi going to be threatened here as Louis MT looks to begin putting some pressure towards this position as well. And beautifully camped out right here for Louis. I love the way that he has done that, just leaving the demo ship all the way to the end, just to guarantee that there is absolutely no chance of a Hulk coming in and spoiling the day. But well done by Louis to read that situation. Now, a little bit of scout-on-scout action. Are they going to take each other out? No. Louis is a little bit ahead on that one. Top side. Looks like the scout is going to survive 1 HP. A little bit of a wall coming in as well for Louis, looking to try and wall it up. And we do know archers are now out and about on the map. Shinobi able to lock down this dock. He holds on a little bit longer, and floating gates already going to be put down here for Killjadi. Really nice transition. Have a look at this. Meanwhile, Louis hasn't got a single bit of resources even going towards that. Wolf is in here together with the Shinobi, working down the dock. I love the fact that he's able to protect the Shinobi with the junk. The range on that junk is 6.5 compared to the archer, which is 5. And good luck clicking on it through that. Like, that ain't happening, Chief. There's no way. Wolf down towards the south side. It looks like at the moment, Louis MT is having a little bit of trouble with Gaia. Gaia is definitely playing the 2v1. But the scout managed to survive. 12 HP it's up to. He spots a sheep and says, you know what? I'll just take the sheep. Gets a bit of information as well. Sees the enemies going to Castle Edge and goes, oh, damn. You are already up to Castle. That's not good. And naturally, Louis just transitions 10 vills over onto gold, chucks the supervisor on there and says, all right, we'll go up. We'll follow you up. Now, which way does he go? There's 2 ways he can go about it. He can go into the Imperial Palace, or he can look to play into the astronomical clock tower. I feel like in this matchup, though, probably want to play into, well, I don't know. I think you probably want the clock tower here. Even though you've got like a pretty decent food economy, there's no second TC just yet. Let's have a look and see what he does, though, because he could just play full Palace Guard like he's doing right now with Imperial Palace and just raid for days. You are up against the Japanese, who have a little bit of a safer style of play. Normally, you do see a lot of farms around those Japanese town centers, so Age Up about to come through here. He's still got quite a bit to go, actually. Scout eventually goes down. Mounted Samurai now on the field. He's going to be going into double racks here, and it is going to be spears that he opts to start with. Just wants to protect the gold. He's got enough gold now to age up, but we do also see upgrades coming through. It's going to be extended lines. Also, Tatara is going to be coming in. Interesting to note that Tatara hasn't actually been changed on this UI. Let me switch and see if it's switched now. No, Tatara is still expensive. That's interesting. I thought it got nerfed or buffed, didn't it? Didn't it go down to 50 gold and 25 stone rather than 75 gold and 25 stone? Anyway, maybe it's my overlay that's bugged. No, it's the children. It is definitely the children. Shinto Priest now going to be picking up the first relic of the game, heading over towards the enemy side. We see the Shinobi coming through, switches it over to a Vil, just looks to try and evade. Still got that Shunshin in the back pocket. Is it Shunshin or Shun? Yeah, Shunshin. All right, we got it. We're going to come down to this position on the south. I don't think there's any real threat here from a water angle of Killjadi, at least on this pond on the south. Now, Mounted Samurai numbers starting to look good. You can see, obviously, he's thrown the Yorishiro inside that stable, so he's got quite a bit of power coming out of that castle age from behind him. Spear number has started to rise. It is just going to be the clock tower that he opts for. So looking to play it safe here, moving into that classic combo. I suspect we're going to see the Nest of Bees together with the racks. Now, this is where I get a little bit scared for Louis, because if Killjadi knows what he's doing, and I suspect he does, he's going to be going into Honor Begeisha. But it looks like it's not going to be the case. Instead, moving into Samurai. This I can't agree with. If these were Begeisha, I would be over the moon right now. But they're not Honor Begeisha. I really don't understand the Samurai. Like, you're just not going to have the DPS with Samurai. Sure, you might get a little bit tankier. But, yeah, to me, it just makes sense to be spamming out those Begeisha. Nice little control so far from Killjadi. Running around to that north side. Age up comes through. 11 minutes and 20 seconds. We'll switch it over now to the income per minute. Get a bit of an idea on where these guys are at. 1,300, 1,600, 1,800 for Louis MT. Compared to Killjadi, 300, 900, 1,500. We'll call it 1,600. So Louis MT at a slight advantage. Obviously, a slight Vil advantage as well. Now, the numbers begin to build. Palace Guards starting to come out. Also going to be moving into crossbows. Numbers are looking pretty decent here for him. Second Town Center going to be going down in the middle of the map here for Killjadi. What is that all about? Well, horses, that's a Barbican coming down right now. Louis MT trying to find the perfect spot. Now, keep in mind, Killjadi's got access to berries, and the Japanese absolutely love their berries, just because the berries gather a lot faster for them. Once they've got those upgrades, obviously, the wheelbarrow upgrades have got access to unique wheelbarrows. Look at this. Beautiful control coming through. Mounted Samurai, ignoring the spears, able to pick up a couple crossbows and just make their way on out of the base. Oh, do they? They do. Mounted Samurai out. Normal Samurai in. Veterancy coming through on those spears now. And Louis under a lot of pressure early on in this game. Barbican is coming up slowly but steadily. You can see those Vils doing a little route right there as the spears go for a bit of a ring around the Rosie. Louis MT holding it down though. Towards the middle of the map. That town center is well and truly up. Quadruple archery range. I love this play. I think he's got to be moving into Yumi Ashigaru, right? There's no way he's moving into anything but Yumi Ashigaru here. You see crossbows, you see spears, you know what your opponent's thinking. They're like, yeah, and I'm also going to start making some Nest of Bees soon. So in your mind, all you're going to do, you're going to spam Yumi Ashigaru, right? And then you're also just going to get a couple Springalds in the back, and that's going to be your win condition. And you push around the 18th minute mark with a huge, massive Yumi Ashigaru. Ideally, you want to try and keep that hidden and let your opponent be making spear crossbow. That's what you want. But we do see there's quite a few Palace Guards coming online as well, and that could be trouble for them. They do get some decent damage upgrades, though, as long as you've got the Bannerman nearby. Let's check in. Let's see how he's doing. Killjadi, what you up to, mate? So he's gone for the double up Yorishiro here. One on the racks, one on the stable as well. I feel like I think there was definitely an opportunity for a kill right here for Killjadi, considering how much faster he was to go to Castle Age over his opponent. As long as he went into Honor Begeisha and didn't mess around and like built up a decent mass and then just went in, even around like this time right now, like he just would absolutely rinse Louis. I don't think there's any real way that you can hold that. I mean, to be fair, Louis is on 1 TC, so maybe there is a world that he holds it. If he's got the walls up. If he's got the walls up and the fight happens under the barbecue in the town center, then maybe there's a world where that happens. But numbers are looking decent right now for Louis, rather, as he begins to push forward. Hasn't had enough time to mass up just yet, Killjadi. Upgrades are on the way through. You can see the veterancy yet to arrive for those Yumi Ashigaru. A bit of a walla-wall, rather. What did I say? Walla-wall? A walla-wall towards the top side. Shinto Priest going to go down. 2 relics in the bag at the moment for Killjadi, so it's maintaining that extra little bit of passive gold. Starting to build up a villager lead here as well. Outpost in the middle of the map. Louis looking for a bit more line of sight on top of that hill. Let's take a look and see what the upgrades are sitting at for Killjadi here. So we hear that next Yorishiro coming out. Only level 1 on the wheelbarrow at the moment. Unique wheelbarrow upgrade. Now going to start pushing forward here. Mounted Samurai together with the Samurai. Yorishiro, rather the Yumi Ashigaru on the back teeing off. They're such great units to control just because they're so quick. It's lovely to have them. You can see he's doing a great job of kiting, but not a whole lot of damage on them. Only 5 damage at the moment compared to the Palace Guards, which have got 3 armor. So hopefully we see a little bit more armor upgrades coming through. You can see them on the way right now. Iron Undermesh on the way for Louis MT. Veterancy on the way for Killjadi. And now that crossbow mass is really starting to build. Do we see the Nesta B? There's the Nesta B. Exactly what we need to see out of the Louis MT. But now on top of this hill, this is where the fight really matters. Because if you're able to get this outpost up, you can talk about sprinkled emplacements. Oh, look at that, 723 out of 750. It did end up going down. The Yumi Ashigaru numbers are starting to rise here. And this is the newly buffed Yumi Ashigaru, by the way. Extra 5 HP. You might not think it makes a difference, but let's do some quick math here. I've got 65 health compared to what I used to have, which was 60. And I've got no armor because I don't upgrade my armor. If I've got 60 health, how many hits does it take for a Palace Guard to kill me? And the answer is 5. But now that I've been buffed up to 65 health, how many hits does it take now? 6. That's correct, 6. So maybe there is a world where that could be a breakpoint of difference, which actually starts to matter in fights. And I suspect this one might actually be it. But that's a big difference, and there's quite a few different breakpoints that have been affected now because of that buff. Have a look at the numbers here. I think it's imperative, though, knowing that your opponent has just lost a huge amount of army to you. It is imperative at this stage of the game to throw down a siege workshop, and ideally we even want to get that Yorishiro into it. I'd be tempted to delete the barracks and get that Yorishiro inside of that I was going to say the blacksmith, but on that siege workshop. And what that does is that allows you to be reactionary, right? Like, if you see 3 Nesta Bs, you can just be like, okay, just give me a second here. Bing, bing, bing. And all of a sudden, you've got like 4 Springalds out in response immediately. It kind of reminds me of the White Tower in a way, just because you can really react. But before we talk about reaction anymore, I need to take a quick swig of my Red Bull. I've just gone with the classic today. No, I was looking at some of like sometimes the seasonal ones that they bring out, and I was about to pick up the apricot and strawberry, and then I saw it was sugar-free. And I'm like, no, you don't do me like that, Red Bull. I want the full thing, baby. If we're drinking Red Bull, we're doing it the right way. Have a look at this. Numbers starting to build here. Nesta B's teeing off on that backside. Beautiful little splits coming through. Still a lot of damage that's taken, but there's no response to these Nesta Bs. I don't see this fight going well for Killjadi at the moment. I think this is a terrible fight from him. The fact that not a single Springled is out on the field just means that he's going to get eaten alive, and that's exactly what happens. Louis takes tempo advantage right here, and we do see a keep now going to be coming out. He's starting to switch into Onimusha, but I can't appreciate that. Wait, what is the... Did you guys see the color of that flag? It was like a... Looked like a divine color right there. It was a very reddy orange kind of color. That was beautiful. So is that Red Bull. That Red Bull is also beautiful. Oh, that is good stuff. Oh, but I tell you what, those Vills taking a lot of damage right there. Keep going to come down in the middle. Louis MT looking to secure it. Knows that the enemy's got the town center here as well. Now, keep in mind, Louis MT behind this has been on Song Dynasty. Now, Song Dynasty is not going to be as quick as your 2TC, but it does kind of keep you up a little bit. You definitely don't fall as far behind as you should. And we can see that Vill count. It's looking okay for him. He's managed to take out a couple Vills in this fight. Siege Workshop's out, but once again, no Yorishiro inside. And the Siege Workshop on the front line means that this bad boy right here doesn't have much in the way of legs. Springled will come out. He's going to go for it. This is not a smart move. You're right in the impact zone of the Nesta Bs. The only thing you could have done right there was run. That was the only thing that you could have done. But unfortunately, things are going from bad to worse. Killjadi, he's made a couple mistakes this game. The first one definitely going to be stepping up when he shouldn't have. Then you have the second round of Step Up 2. You guys have seen it. Unfortunately, the movies, the rules are simple, right? The sequel is never as good as the original, and except with the case of Outback Octagon. Outback Octagon 2 was amazing. Springled, looking for it. Manages to find space here. Keep in mind, he does have Vills that he can look to pull. Nesta B's firing off, gets a little bit of damage here. Needs to pull Vills to get that repair in. It looks like it's going to be enough. But now that the keep is out here, you're into the next phase of the game here, where we're no longer just fighting over units. We also have to fight together with the keep. And being the king of the castle, being the dirty rascal down here, It makes it hard because you really want to go into the trebuchet, but every time you go into the trebuchet, you're spending resources on a unit that's not able to kill enemy military units, right? Like, you're only focused on killing this keep. And trebs are pretty expensive, right? Like, there's a treb coming out right now, 550. This bad boy, I don't like the odds of it coming through here. This is just... I feel like Killjani really had a chance here, and all it took was just a springald or two. Siege Workshop is back here. Just delete the barracks. Right-click the floating gate on the Siege Workshop, please. And we're all happy. Well, maybe not all of us. Maybe not Louis MT. Town Center going to be going down shortly. He's no longer training Vils from it, aware of its imminent death. Springald's able to get off shots. That's going to be 2 shots. Third shot isn't going to come off here. Not going to need it. Not with that many Palace Guards, and Palace Guards able to take him out. Continues now to put on the pressure. Town Center. Not a chance this bad boy is staying up. Trebuchet going to fire off towards that outpost. The numbers are still looking pretty decent here for Killjani. A lot of Onimusha in the back line. Nest of Bees. Be careful. Springald numbers are looking relatively well, but he's up against Clock Towers. It's a 2-for-2 trade. No, my friend. No, it is not. The Nest of Bees stands strong. He's still got 2-1, a little bit too far forward right there. Sacred Site actively being captured right now. But still the number game for Killjani is okay. The town center getting repaired, and the mega hold is through. He is looking to try and hold as hard and as fast as he can. Treb on the backside is going to start looking to push this up as well. Sacred Site being neutralized this whole time. I didn't even realize they were getting taken. What a hold right there from Killjani. Impressive. But the Nest of Bee numbers still looking really healthy at the back here. 2 Nest of Bees, 2 Springalds. Going to look to try and fire down here. We'll be able to find the shots. And now both of those Springalds, or all of those Springalds from Killjani have gone down. Crossbow numbers still looking pretty good. And that's going to be it. Ladies and gentlemen, go check them out this week. And it's going to be EGC TV hosting the Red Bull Wololo El Reinado qualifiers. Go say good day from me. And of course, yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed this game. Nice little game here from Louis MT and Killjani.